Rich Aloha is a YouTuber that loves exploring underwater. His videos are often about deep dives, reviewing diving gear, and one of his favorite things to do is treasure hunting. In this particular video, he heads out into a forest in Tennessee with a plan in mind. Deep in the woods, there's a waterfall he wanted to dive into to see if he could find any lost objects people may have dropped over the years. But what he ended up finding turned disturbing very quickly.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Rich Aloha here, and I'm actually in Tennessee to do some treasure hunting. Might be finding a drone or an iPhone, maybe a GoPro, and if I'm really lucky, might even find some cash. So stay tuned, because this epic adventure starts right now. Got my hiking buddy, Crancy.
Yo, what's up?
Oh yeah. Alright, and just like that, after a quick but treacherous trek, we've made it down to the waterfall, so I'm ready to hop in because I'm hot and sweaty because this bad boy is heavy. So let's go.
So, he geared up and jumped into the water. At first, he found exactly the kind of stuff you'd expect. Bracelets, rings, random objects people probably dropped over the years. But while he kept swimming around, he noticed something sticking out from the ground underwater. And when he pulled it out, it turned out to be a GoPro camera. It was obvious the thing had been down there for a long time, judging by the condition of it. The camera was cracked up and looked completely destroyed, like there was absolutely no chance it still worked. Before throwing it away, though, he decided to check if maybe the SD card had somehow survived. Surprisingly, when he pulled it out and tested it, it was completely functional. He started going through the footage that had last been recorded on the camera, and that's when things suddenly became really unsettling once he realized what he was actually looking at.
You know, growing up, I was a huge fan of Superman. I actually have this type of chance to be Superman. Yo! Uh-huh. Come on, bro.
The footage showed the adventures of a young man enjoying his time exploring and swimming around the waterfall. This later turned out to be 22-year-old Richard Ragland, who had tragically lost his life there 2 years earlier after drowning beneath that very waterfall. What made this discovery so disturbing is that the footage Rich found actually contained Richard's final moments in the water. Near the end, you can reportedly see him becoming visibly exhausted and struggling to stay afloat. The camera likely even captured his final breaths. However, from what I could find, the complete footage was never released online, and honestly, even if it had been, it's not something I could show here on YouTube anyway. Rich Haley chose not to publish the full recording out of respect for Richard and his family, which I completely understand. And while it's incredibly sad seeing such a young and upbeat guy lose his life like that, there's at least one positive thing that came from this. Thanks to Rich finding that camera, Richard's family was able to see some of his final happy moments on this planet. Theodore is a guy that absolutely loves motorbikes. His videos are mostly motovlogs where he explores different places, rides around with friends, sometimes does wheelies, sometimes falling, you know, just living life in full adrenaline mode. But in this particular video, he actually wasn't on the bike for once. Theo and one of his friends were out walking around, checking an area to see if they could get their bikes through a small forest trail nearby. But while exploring the area, they ended up stumbling across something that became completely unsettling very quickly.
This video starts off at a weird point because I didn't have my camera recording. This was kind of us just going out to look for some off-roading areas and everything, and I kind of had the camera recording just in case I wanted to go back and look at the footage.
I could get through this. This would be fun though too. I could get my Harley up this, no problem. Oh fuck! I just about ate. This would be cool, like on a dirt bike to jump that little hill, make this gap. But if you did mess up, you're just gonna plummet into the earth. Down there. Oh, dude, yes. I got a tire. Dude, yeah.
They just walked around, had a bit of fun with whatever they could find around, and at first it honestly seemed like a pretty cool place to ride. The terrain looked manageable, and for a moment it felt like the perfect spot for the bikes. But then they noticed something between the trees.
What is that? No way. I didn't really see it until you said something. Dude, that was straight up hold on.
So by this point, it's hard to pick up from the video, but if you notice, I'm looking around a bunch. When I realized what I was looking at, I got a huge uneasy feeling like I was being watched by something. So that's why I'm kind of all jumbled up.
I want to get a good I want to get a good view of it. Dude, somebody was digging a grave out here. Oh god. Dude, that was straight up a grave. Like that's not even. Oh! That's a deer, dude. That scared the shit. Oh, my heart just jumped so. Dude, I'm getting out of here. You get the. I had to breathe. Oh, dude, that's not cool. That was a grave. I know sometimes I can be a little dramatic, but that I'm just saying. You don't dig a 5.5 by 3 foot square rectangle on the ground unless you're putting a body in.
They ran away because they felt like they were being watched, and to be honest, that's already something really unsettling when you're stumbling across it deep in the forest. But if you actually take a moment to look at what was there, it doesn't just look like a random hole. It looks 100% like a grave, and yet there was no one around. No movement between the trees, no sounds, nothing at all. In the comments, someone pointed out something that made the whole situation even more disturbing. They suggested that maybe the people who dug that hole were actually still nearby, hiding in the trees, and that Theo and his friend might have interrupted them right as they were about to dump a body. According to that theory, they could have been watching from behind the trees and quickly covered the hole with leaves before disappearing. It's a creepy idea, but when you look at the dirt that was dug out, it doesn't really support that version of events. The soil looks more compacted, like it had been sitting there for a while rather than freshly disturbed in that exact moment. That makes it feel more like whatever happened there didn't just occur seconds before they arrived, but possibly days earlier. Maybe someone dug it, used it, got interrupted later by someone passing through, panicked, and rushed to cover it with leaves so it wouldn't be obvious. Then they left and never came back, worried that returning would draw attention. But the truth is, we don't actually know if there was ever a body in there at all. People in the comments asked Theo if he ever went back to check, and he said that he did, but he never revealed what he found or gave any updates. He also said he was planning to report it to the police, but that was years ago now, and nothing has ever been confirmed publicly since then. So in the end, we're left with the same question he was left with. What do you think was actually in there? Andrew is a guy who one day discovered something very unusual in the forest and posted it on his page, and it quickly went viral because people were left extremely confused about what they were actually looking at. So what did he encounter? One day he was walking through the forest when he heard a sound he couldn't immediately identify. It wasn't animals, it wasn't wind. It was something mechanical, like something moving through the woods. Curious, he followed the noise deeper into the trees until he finally saw it. A train. Not on tracks you'd normally expect, not near any station, just a train moving through the forest on its own. No visible driver, no workers, no other people around, just an old, weathered train slowly passing through the trees like it was still following a route that nobody else seemed to know about anymore.
What do we got here? Another one of those ghost trains. Except no one's driving. Huh. Well, that ain't good. Don't know where it came from. Don't know where it's going. This time it's in reverse. No one's driving. Well, like always. So we'll check and see the other side if anything's in here. Looks like it could use some work. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, no, I'm out.
People came up with a lot of different ideas about what it was actually doing there, and some people in the comments even seemed to claim they knew what was going on. According to them, these trains are sometimes used to keep old, unused railway lines in working condition, because in some cases it's cheaper to occasionally run maintenance trains over abandoned tracks than to fully dismantle everything. Now, I honestly don't know if that's what was actually happening here, but I have to admit, it still feels really weird and kind of creepy to see a train just moving through a forest like that with no clear explanation and no visible crew. Just imagine being out there, camping in a small tent at night, and suddenly hearing what sounds like creepy Thomas the Train rolling through the trees all by itself. I don't know about you, but I'd probably assume that's the end for me right there. This video comes from a channel called The Other Side. It was his first actual upload, meaning he's not really a YouTuber who posts regularly. In this particular video, he recorded something really weird he came across in the woods while hiking with a group of friends. It was something that honestly didn't make much sense at all, and there was no clear explanation for why anyone would do something like that.
Alright, so anyway, my friends and I were in the forest, and we found this weird stuff. Not sure what it is. I promise you we didn't make it. I don't have this much time on my hands. As you can see, it's my first YouTube post for a reason. Oh great, my friends just left me in a place like this. Yeah, that's not good. Do you know what all this wavy stuff is? Look like air and smiley face over there. There's a seat. I'm kind of scared to go over there, so I'm not gonna go. Don't call me a for it. My friend in the corners is scared the shit out of me. I really don't know what it is. I would like for you to tell me. I mean, if anybody's ever seen anything like this. I see a heart and yin yang based off the Chinese religion of Taoism previous, and well, guess we're gonna go my fellow buddies who stick with me through thick and thin, supposedly, since considering the fact that they just left me.
Gnarly.
Hey guys, wait up! Yeah, let's follow them. Ow!
He thought that it might have been some kind of ritual, and to be honest, that's kind of what it looks like at first glance too. But judging by the arrangement and some of the symbols placed around it, it could also just as easily be some kind of art installation or experimental setup. At that point, it feels like it's either one of those explanations or just someone with way too much time on their hands who decided to do something strange deep in the woods for no clear reason. I actually couldn't find anything online about what it might be, but let me know what you think it was. This next video comes from a YouTube channel named Fat Reacts, and it's actually the only video that was ever posted on this channel. But it was enough to leave over 1 million people completely unsettled. So what happened? In July of 2020, the uploader and some of his friends were walking near a forest when they started noticing a really bad smell coming from somewhere in the area. At first, they had no idea where it was coming from, so they began following it through the woods, trying to figure out what it was. As they got closer, they eventually stumbled upon a pink cooler sitting there in the middle of nowhere. They turned on the camera, half joking, thinking they were about to find something interesting, maybe even something like a crime scene or something weird, and turn it into a video. Unfortunately, that wasn't very far from the truth.
It smells so bad. There's maggots. Oh no, that. Bro, that smells so bad. Bro, there's so many maggots on it, bro.
God damn.
Bro, just pet it with the. That hella sketch, bro. This is sketch. Up from this side. Oh, yeah, I'm going to fuck that shit.
Do it. Open it.
With what?
Your knife.
Bro,
What is it?
oh my god.
Hold on. Open it up for a minute. I gotta record it.
I have to quickly pause the video right here to tell you that I'll be forced to blur what's coming next, since it could seriously affect my channel if I show it directly. But if after watching you really want to see the full graphic footage, I'll leave the link in the description so you can check it out there. Now, let's get back to the story.
What is that? What is it? What is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
What you mean? What does it look like?
It looks
Roxy,
like,
what does it look like, bro?
it looks like dead fish.
You lying.
I swear.
Roxy, what does it look like, bro? It's disgusting. Bro, what does it look like? Bro, we need to call, bro. What does it look like? Oh, Michael, what the f does it look like? What does it look like? It. Bro, is it nasty?
Bro, you gotta move it, bro. You can't tell.
Like, this is like somebody's body. Look like somebody's body? Huh?
I don't know. I'm holding my breath every time I go over there.
Look.
I don't know what. It smells like garbage. Ew.
Oh no.
Not yet. Not yet. I don't. What is it?
As you can hear towards the end of the clip, they mention calling the police to check what it could be. And according to one of them who later came into the comments with an update, that's exactly what they did. It was an infant that was neglected and abandoned in that cooler filled with water. Location will not be disclosed due to privacy reasons. Now, a lot of commenters didn't believe this at all, saying they were just making it up, or that what was inside the cooler looked more like dead fish or something similar. And since no official articles or reports could be found anywhere online, it's really hard to confirm what actually happened. But judging by the bugs and maggots seen inside of it, it definitely looked like something that had been left there for a while and had once been alive. Even so, people are still debating in the comments whether the story is real or not, especially since that was the only update ever given and no follow-up videos were posted. If what they said was true, it would honestly be one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard. It really makes you wonder who could do something like that, and why. Some things are just beyond understanding. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. You can also turn on the bell so you'll get notified whenever I post. And if you want to keep watching, click on one of the videos on the screen. I'm sure you'll enjoy those too.